Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to your Sunday evening with Delenn. We are here once again in the castle, and we are looking around at the various different things we've got. A bunch of villagers, very slowly. Still short one for unbreaking, but hey, we're getting geared up. I'm not putzing around in unenchanted unenchanted iron anymore, so that's a good start. All right, so as you can see over here, we have a sample of what part of the wall is going to look like. And the lower section is going to have the smaller slits. The towers are probably going to have the bigger slots, and possibly putting gates, or not gates, fences in them, particularly in the lower section. And so we're going to start incorporating this sort of design into the walls and the towers, and it's going to be taller than what you see here. Because the height going on the back side will actually be a little higher than what you see here. So we've got half. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Actually, this one isn't bad, but I'm going to go up a second level before we get to the top section. So yeah, that's where we're at. And there's always more trading we can do with the villagers, and so on and so forth. Like, for example, now that I think about it, I'm still sitting here eating up baked potatoes. Whereas I really should be leveling up the villagers further so that I can get my way up to those coveted golden carrots, right? Nobody's gonna eat apples. So I'll take those. Thank you very much. And can I please have the melons? Peas. 3 times as much benefit? No, not particularly. We'll just keep buying your apples. Till I'm out. That works. That works. Now I have useless apples to eat, but that's okay. We'll get them eaten. Yes. Either way. All right. So yeah. Other than that silliness, that's where we're at. So I'm hoping these guys at some point, maybe not, they will give me one more villager. I just want one, but maybe they won't, so we'll just see what happens. Let's see, can I get 16? 12, 16, and we'll see if we can get them to breed with 16. I highly doubt it, but if the same guy picks up these ones as picked up the last batch, then we might have some luck. Maybe. I don't know what to do with that, but that's okay. Alright, so first things we're going to do, first things we're going to do is to actually fill up our inventory with materials needed, at least as far as we have. We don't have a whole ton, but that's because I fully plan to be mining some more over yonder with the stone generator, now that I've got Silk Touch and Mending and so on my pick. Assuming that I don't break it in the process. Okay, so we're using an awful lot of brick blocks. So let's 3 sets of that. Okay. Oh. 1 and a bit, sure. Now we have some of each. Okay. So part of my plan is here to keep maintain for now the cobblestone level low enough that I can keep the villagers in, and then I will change it up as we get towards stuff, or pardon me, change it up as we get closer to completion, just so that I don't have the villagers running amok and having them escaping and so forth. But I realized I need to figure out the math on how high we are. 1, 2, 3. So we're a little bit low on this one. A bit low on this tower. 1, 2, 3, and a bit. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 3.5 actually. This is what it gets. 1, 2, and 3. Why did I do it that way? There was a reason. There was a reason. Now I can't remember. Is it because I was trying to stay level with this tower? Okay. fine, then we'll start on this side. Okay. As long as I don't do the whole tower all at once, we should be fine. So the openings were brick. The rest of it on the corners were stone, and then we're mucking around the top. Okay. So this would be brick all through here. Nope. Losing stuff. Hello, villagers. Wow. Alrighty. A bit more of the same, I suppose. Or I regret to say. It won't be like this the whole time. Okay. So because this. There we go. Built these towers 4 or 5 times now. I should be able to figure this out, hopefully. 3, and then I've got those. Let's make these 2. This one out. This one out. Throw this one in there to keep out most mobs. These across the bottom, make it easier to get to the window. Right. And plain stone in the meantime. Excellent. 2, 4. And as I understand it, the ranks of the secret sleepers have united. And they are helping out with sleep for me. I don't think they have to if they don't want to, but I appreciate it all the same. Right. Or I don't know what song this is. Making all kinds of noise. I don't know sounds like a great idea for a song because nobody really knows what the song's about that way. Three. That one. There we go. It's a little airier when I do that too, actually. I like that. Yeah, I think I like it up higher rather than lower. Or no. Less functional this way. If I do it other way around, and I have the option going decorative up top. Also, didn't try stairs. Running out, trying something new. Where's the stairs? There we go. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, well, that makes no difference whatsoever. Alrighty then. What the other way? These two. Oh. one this direction and one that direction. Use the usual block down here. And 1, 3, 4, 3.5, 4. Okay. Move this one as well. Not on every level, I think. Some levels, like the lower ones, I think would need to have the impression of being thicker. But on the inside, actually, that might work well. The inside would artificially look like it has more space. This is the outside. The other would be the inside. Not so effective because it's got big gaps here, which make it feel like everything's porous. And from the outside, yeah, not so much. Okay, not so much. Or maybe the regular castle wall sections, that could work. Oops, wrong one. Here. Nope, I don't think that would work. This is the way that the side section was. Make that fit. Take a look from the front, though. Do I have plain stairs? 1, 2, 3, 6. Plain on the inside, so it's interesting here. That does weird things to the stairs. Looks the same outside, but it does really weird things to the stairs. Not working. Not working. At least not next to the stairs, anyways. Not too bad where you've got full blocks, but that would only be on one side. But maybe this way instead. Here and there. That's actually not that bad. Alright, I think I like that. So let's go back to the tower. That is a tower. This one. This wall is weird. Touching things. Put it something lower. So we're back to counting with Dylan. Welcome aboard. One of those things that takes forever and a day to do. Once I'm done, I will be happy with it. Do it in order to be happy with it. This one is just for convenience. I want a base to have. Right. Bottom of the tower. Good evening, Shinigami. How are you doing? Good to see you. This afternoon's plan, this evening's plan, is a it's a little bit of a slow grind through swapping out the towers with the newer design style I'm going to be using, and I did this corner incorrectly. I did. Aha. I did. 1, 2. Oops. Aw, man. So I've got a layout over there of my rough design plan, and I'm just translating it into the actual towers, which of course is one of those slow grind activities. Nope. And unfortunately, after a little bit of testing, I decided that I don't really like having cobblestone look anywhere in the design. So yeah, taking that out was probably the worst. Well, it's not a matter of just simply augmenting an existing design. I actually have to rip it out as I go. That's okay. I was just saying that I know I'm going to like it better for having done the extra work, rather than having just left it and tried to work my way around it. Right, the back of this one done. Windows and floors are kind of vanilla, pretty plain, but I don't do a whole lot of these sorts of builds in the first place. So this is sort of a growth point for me regardless. And this sounds to be very non-functional, but that's okay. I think we're good there. Side. So what have you been up to lately, Shinigami? I noticed that you've been playing a lot of different kinds of games, things other than Minecraft. But what's your latest craze?
Hello there. Hello there.
Hello there, Stormy. How are you doing? Good to see you. It's Wednesday, which to some is Wednesday. I'm not exactly back to whatever Wednesday, but this definitely is more of a whatever than a win. However, I'm enjoying myself, and I want to know what everybody else is up to today. Oops, too tight. Wow, I sound quiet. Interesting. Sometimes I win, sometimes I lose when it comes to the sound. My microphone is a flexible, like it's got a flexible arm, so I have a habit of shoving it out of the way between streams, and it's possible I just may not be getting it back into the correct spot when I get back. The other thing is I've noticed of late, I tend to be one of the quieter streamers. Some of the people I listen to have far louder streams than I do, or they'll be fairly quiet to begin with, and then something on the stream will change, and suddenly they seem too loud, or their redeem music seems really, really loud to me. So maybe it's just me. You know, maybe it's just my head. I don't know. Me. Oh, the 8-bit. Sorry, was that an answer to my question, or is it the music sounding very 8-bit? Because I know the music is quite low at the moment. Still checking that. Oh, no. It's at the usual spot. Me, yeah, you. Welcome on in, Benson. How are you doing? I should probably ask first who the question was addressed to.
Oh, hello there!
It's possible, Shinigami, that, as I was mentioning, I moved my mic arm, and as part of readjusting things, I actually moved it back, or moved it around a bit, so it's possible that maybe I just found closer to where the sweet spot should be. I like using a mic, but it doesn't live in a permanent position on my desk. I've got a flexible one from Elgato that I quite like, but it allows me to fold it away between streams, and sometimes when I pull it back, I'm not always in the correct spot. What have we got here? You 8-bit. You. How am I? Ah, quote of the day. Do we have something? Okay. Technically, cold brew. Oh, what is something that you tried that you didn't think you would like, but you ended up really liking? And it sounds like Benson's idea was cold brew coffee. I've never, honestly, I don't know if I'd like it or not. Cold brew coffee doesn't bother me as a concept, because I mean, it's not like you're making something go moldy. It takes longer than I would normally recommend, but I don't think the beans really get all that moldy. But that to be said, I don't know if I would like cold brew coffee as an example, simply because I'm not a fan of iced coffee. I prefer my coffee warm. I'll even take it, you know, like lukewarm, as in I just grabbed it after it was sitting in the pot and hasn't been reheated. But I don't like actual iced coffees. Now that's not to say I won't put ice in my coffee, but that's usually if it's just too hot to drink at the time and I want to speed things up. And the question is, how am I doing? I think I'm okay. I've noticed of late that every time I start stream, I'm nervous. It's not anything new for me, but since the numbers have slowly been sort of getting better, I guess you could say, I feel more responsible for good content than I used to. It's kind of self-defeatist or counterproductive to have that attitude. It's not about the numbers. Like, I'm not even looking at who or how many are in stream. There could be one. There could be you, because I'm talking to you, you know? But, yeah. Okay, so that's level 2 of this one. So we're partway through the first tower. So this morning, just before okay, let me clarify. I live in Mountain Time Zone, and just about everything runs on Eastern Time Zone. So I keep forgetting that there are other people not in my time zone. So if I say, you know, good morning, that's referring to morning for me in Mountain Time Zone, where it's usually like noon for everybody else. Yeah, not so effective. 3, 4. There we go. But yeah, how am I doing? It's not bad, actually. I'd say not bad. I had a smasher of a headache this morning, but I'm getting over that one, I think. If I do end up taking a break in stream, it'll just be to grab some more headache meds, because yeah, that was not a pleasant one. But it's one of those things where sometimes the show must go on, and not thinking about or concentrating on the headache itself, or the headache's existence, works for me in terms of getting rid of it. So it's not necessarily a mind over matter, it's mind off of matter, I suppose. I'm actually quite pleased, it sounds silly, but I'm quite pleased with the fact that I have a build design I'm happy with that is, for practical purposes, more mined from scratch than usual. And that just feels really, really good. Because a lot of my builds are, I mean, they're based off of pictures or real places or whatever, but because this particular real place no longer exists, then it's kind of nice to be able to figure it out. Do I put tape over the numbers as I stream? To be honest with you, it takes me a second or two to search around the screen to even figure out where the numbers block is being shown. So yeah. I wouldn't have to put tape over the numbers. I just have to not look. So what I've done in OBS, for those of you that stream, and I'm not going to get all nerdy on you or whatever here, but for those of you that stream, I went and I got myself I don't know if I needed a plugin for it, but in any case, I've got a bunch of custom docs so I can see whatever I want to see. And, like, as long as it's a web page, I guess you could say. And I put in, as one of those docs, a layout from Twitch itself. So basically, it's just a copy of the streamer dashboard, adjusted for what I would like to see while I'm streaming in OBS. I'm spoiled. That sounds like a boast, it's not intended to, so please bear with me. But I'm spoiled to have 3 monitors, grand total. So I play on the center one. I have my OBS streaming on my left monitor. And then on the right-hand side, I've got things like my bot app, Spotify, what else do I have there? Usually a web browser of whatever my reference material is. So like if I've got page or a design I'm following, for example, like when I was doing carpet art. So I've got that on the right-hand side. And then over the last year or so, a couple of the treats I've either picked up or had gifted to me, in this case gifted, would be a couple of different stream decks. So my desktop is really spoiled. I'm still using a Blue Yeti mic, so not the snowball variety, but the more typical mic shape, which I'm generally happy with. I don't have any complaints, but, you know, depending on who you listen to, there are plenty that love to tell you, it's the wrong one, it sucks, get yourself a new one. And there are those that tell you, you know, the cheap free headphones that come with your cell phone are good enough, depending on what you want to do. And I'm not here to make music. I'm not here to be some sort of internet superstar. So you can use whatever you got, right? Loosely that reminds me of a song. I know I'm not going to sing, but it reminds me of a song that I grew up with for our church stuff. And their thought was that, what is it? All God's creatures have a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wire, and some just clap their hands or paws or anything they've got now. And basically, how that applies to me in the streaming world is I don't get too fussy about what I've got. I just make it work. And if I can play with it and put, you know, elbow grease into getting it to do what I want, score! Do we need another amphitheater? Heavens no! If you want an amphitheater, that's great, but I may ask for season tickets. Yeah, season tickets. There we go. We need an encore of Bats, because Batkratz had an awesome show. Though he does need to remember not to leave his speakers behind this year. Alright, what do we got? I've got everything but the fences. Excellent. Oh, and I don't have the torches. Well, that's not going to work well. That's okay. We'll just start doing stuff on the tower. Okay, so this will be the top. I've got 3 levels on this one, like on these towers, and then I'm going to go with 2 levels on the wall itself with a top row that people can be riding around on. So, a little bit of space for everybody. This one. And this one. And I just remembered I didn't take the time to think about how the corners were done. That's okay. Okay, tower top. What did I do with the stairs? Ah, okay. I figure out which direction I put the stairs. Because it wasn't the same as the original plan. This way and that way. Yeah, that's gonna work. 1. Oops, I got this wrong. I don't want to fall off the tower. That would be less than ideal. There, and then dirt. Dirt schmirt. So yeah, I've talked about it a million times last season, and I don't know if I'm actually going to do it this season, but I probably should. I probably should actually talk to somebody about getting, once I get the boots that I'm going to probably keep all season. Okay, hang on a second here. I did something really weird that doesn't match my design. I just need to run down to the bottom and see what I did wrong. I can't seem to determine it from up here. 2 corners. Stairs, stairs. Somehow I got a diagonal of 3 over there. It doesn't cause a problem, but this one collides. So I'm trying to figure out what did I do incorrectly. That's really bullshit. Okay, so around the end, one out. Okay, that'll be a post. That one hangs over, right? So this is where the dirt is now. Is where the post is going to be. Okay, then how come I can't seem to figure out why it isn't working? From the inside. 1, 2. Oh! Ah! That might be why. Okay. Might be. Might be. See what else I can bring up for bricks and stuff. Oops. Okay. Not so helpful. Given that. Just put everything I've got in the smelter because I can get it back later. If I take a look at this from the ground, aside from missing the fence and having the window look really weird up that high, does it look that strange on the window? Hey, Crafty Mama, how you doing? I didn't know if I'd see anybody from that community while I was doing vanilla, so I'm quite surprised. Thank you for coming in. That community, sorry, being Vault Hunters community. Oh. Can I put spruce out there? What's this? Oh, that's oak logs. Okay. That would be why I didn't recognize what was going on. Okay, those are oak. Ah! That answers everything. I don't need to have dark oak because the spruce should be fine. Okay, so I still need fencing. Top floor. It's weird. Down near the bottom, the window lower. Okay. Not trying to make everybody run back and forth here. So I had the window and I tried it lower, and I didn't like the way it was close to the stairs. Now that I put it up higher, I'm not sure I like the way it hangs over there. So I'm actually wondering about on an upper level, if I just sort of fake it out on that one level to be a bit lower, rather than up high like the lower two, if I can make that look alright. Let's go up and find out. Yeah, the reason this didn't look right is because I didn't have the extended stairs on it to begin with. This will be that, and I get my corner correct. Except I, of course, need to get the dirt out of there because the dirt is where the fence is going to go. Alright, and then we'll put a fence in between the stairs on... I remember if I was putting it in the corner here. No, it was not there. But it was on all the straight sides. Okay, that I can follow. Now I need to test out the window change. So this one down and go up there, just on the top level. Before I change the other three, what am I doing? Ah, I have an easier way of doing this. Silly me. Okay, so, oh, whoops. I'm not sure if I just opened that up entirely or not. Down low. I want it to look even lower. Somehow I made it look higher. So worse rather than better. Okay. See? This is why I check things. And I also realized now that I have the camera, I shouldn't have to run back and forth. So this one... How did it look higher though? That's odd. Try this again. Unfortunately, my camera I have now is it's not a go through blocks variety. Okay. This looks like it's matched with the bottom of the stairs. This was lower than the bottom of the stairs. Yes. Okay. So I went and changed it. And then, yeah. Okay, so I mistakenly confused myself. Got it. this one out and put it up top. It also allows me to pull this piece from inside. And that will make them not quite so high when it comes to the stairs over top. Oops, not that. This way. There. And this one had both. Yep. Good. Fake it out. It'll work. Alright. Back up to the roof and finish off there for now. This corner. And that corner. Stairs, not crossbow. Think out loud. So what have people been up to? I know I just asked a few of you what you were up to in a more specific individual kind of way. Yeah, what sorts of things have people been doing to keep themselves busy? I haven't had a whole lot of, I shouldn't say haven't taken the opportunity for a whole lot of chat of late with quite a number of you. I miss that. I miss that a lot. I mean, I had myself sort of hyper-focused on Dadcraft server. Having a good time with it, no arguments there whatsoever, but I do miss out on some of the chitter-chatter. With the Dadcraft community, I do tend to hang on his server, but as is the nature of any time that there's a new reboot, his server has gone absolutely insane, and there's no way I can currently keep up with it. Not to mention that we've got a bunch of scouting stuff, because of course as the year gets underway and people are starting to think about spring activities, then there's a lot more meetings and stuff for booking activities and camps and so on for the kids, so I just get even less. Working on Village is so much fun. Tell me about it. Sometimes I wonder if we collect more iron golems in the social mechanic than I do with the actual farm. But I'm glad you're having fun with the villagers. Shifting villagers around was never one of my favorite things to do, and hence I forgot about the fact that, I mentioned this earlier, but I've forgotten about the fact that beds are incredibly important to them. So I got things 3/4 of the way to my base, and then villagers turned around and walked home. I was trying to figure out what on earth I had done wrong, and I hadn't paid attention to the time, so I didn't get them locked in before it became time for the bed to be calling. Right. So I'll get to this part, fixing it to match up after, or later on, because I've got a lot of work to do on the central gate, which I'm going to probably leave till mostly last, just because it's easier to make it match that way. And I don't end up tearing out work that I've put in, or less of that tearing out business. Those two have to come out on defenses. Okay, so let's go into the other tower. Ding dong, your daily shoe salesman. Nope, okay. Awesome. Is this the same level? Approximately. Okay, so this one... is sort of the side. Oh, I have enough space for, like, underground into the hill. Oh, nice. So I could put a 4th floor in there if I want to. We'll use that for like powder kegs or something. There we go. So I saw that you were... Amphitheater. All day, all night. No! You'd be better off to ask the Dynamites, please. Zerks, you guys have been around long enough to know better than to have Del attempt to sing. That's actually dangerous. She can get hooked on it. And I swear I sing like I'm 60 and I'm not 60 yet, by any stretch of the imagination. You know that image we all have in our heads of like how people's stereotype grandmas used to sing, sort of all warbly and screechy? Yeah, that'd be it. They all seem to think they can sing incredibly well, and I used to carry that ridiculous notion. Thankfully, I smartened up. For your benefit and mine. But hey, if you want to build it, I'm not going to stop you. Because you guys do a really great job of theaters. Now, it may not be necessarily an amphitheater. I think it actually might be kind of fun. Even for those who don't do things like singing or whatever. It'd be kind of fun to do like a role-play version of basically do a play. You know? Somebody could either write one from scratch, or we could do something silly like, I don't know, a cheesy version of fairy tales or something, or some other type of little play where people get to play the characters. I think it'd be kind of fun. Even maybe potentially mocking, as inappropriate as that would be, but mocking some of the funny events from previous seasons, with the idea that the audience would be people who weren't able to be a part of the server on the previous seasons, and so they're still hearing all the stories second or third hand. People involved wouldn't have to be a part of it if they didn't want to be, because I mean sometimes the things that happened to these other people is not something they want to remember, even though they're okay that we giggle about it now. No. So that might be kind of fun, just to have a generic theater. And unlike a stadium, it wouldn't have to be just for music or something like that. If you want it, you can have it. But the other option too is we could another option too is we could also try and sucker in some of our instrument players and just have them freeze and then do an audio concert. That could be cool. I'd pay for that. Don't know if I could afford a diamond block for that sort of thing just yet, but doesn't mean I wouldn't want season tickets. And okay. For some reason I lost count on that. I just need more stone. And more potatoes. There we go. Eat more apples or something. Let's see. The question of the day was, what's something you tried that you didn't think you would like, but you really liked? I'm trying to think. Usually it's an international food when that sort of question comes up. I usually think of international food items. I'm trying to think if there's anything. For the most part, for me, if I can't pronounce it, it's unlikely I'm going to enjoy it. But I've also tried things... Salud. Do tell us about that one. I'm curious. What is it? And where was your chance to experience that? Because I'm not familiar with that one. I was going to say something like odd like poppadoms, but often I think maybe it's British Vindaloo. No, it sounds dumb, but Fantastic Sherlock Fox and a few other people like a very, very spicy vindaloo, so I honestly thought there couldn't be a version that would be mild enough that I like it.
There.
You sell so many of those on the farm. Okay, somebody please tell me what it is. And Crafty Mama has panda guards. Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. Panda guards are so cute. And much, much safer than polar bear guards. What do we have? Only 8. Put that in there. Grapes. Yeah. Let's see. Balut is a fertilized bird egg, usually a duck, which is incubated for a period of 14-21 days, depending on local culture, and then steamed. Oh, I get it. Okay, yes. I have heard of those. You won't catch me eating one just for concept reasons. Partly is in support of my friends, not my friends, my like Brianna, and we've got a few people in my daughter's cub group. But the idea for them is just that they are vegetarian and or on the edge of being vegetarian, these people. So it yeah, I wouldn't want to eat something that I couldn't eat around everybody. I mean, one could say it's not necessarily the world's most polite of me to be, you know, eating meat around a vegetarian in the first place. But part of the thing is that these particular people have frequently stopped eating meat for reasons of veganness, without actually necessarily being vegan per se. But yeah, I mean, now let's just say anybody who's had that on the farm happened by natural causes, I could totally see why you continue eating them, because it's just a fact of life on the farm. I mean, my mother's told plenty of stories about how she had lots of those to be able to eat at home, just because, you know, once that situation has been discovered, there's a lot of places where you can't sell those. Nobody will buy them. So I could see why she got to eat a bunch of them on the farm, as those would end up being guaranteed to be the ones that were kept. I mean, now people like them as a delicacy, right? In North America, but it's not a heavily North American thing. Don't like this. I tend to prefer when I'm building at least one row gap, and particularly if I'm doing a defensive structure like this. A one row gap is appreciated just so that I can build it up, I guess is probably a better way. Build it up, Buttercup. Okay, 1, 2. I should have put 3 heads. Don't. Yeah. That's okay. But it's not something that's to my taste. But then again, I could give all kinds of weird conceptual reasons for it, and that's not necessarily appropriate for my stream to be going into opinionated stuff of that nature. Each their own. Hey, if you like it, you like it. I forgot. Initially, I didn't think I was going to like avocados, because my parents don't. And so I have no idea where I picked up eating avocados. Could have been with my current husband, with my husband before we got married. But I don't know. And I tried them, and yeah, they are quite yummy. Get this one. Because of the terrain, I actually think I'm gonna go out and give it a blank wall. It's one of those things where, you know, if you'd had a skeleton that was right in your face, I don't necessarily think you'd want to be hanging out right there. So that gives the look sort of like we've got a window. I mean, a wall would work just as well, actually. Might even work better. We'll go with that for now. And possibly that one as well. Let me just check on the ground floor of the other ones. They're close, but they're not quite as close. So you could probably use them for combat. But this one, just because it appears to be below grade, felt really awkward. You'd be shooting up, whereas other ones could see you better. And that one's iffy. Once I get the pieces in, it's not that. Once I get the pieces in, it's not so bad. Why is it that looks different? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a block and a half, okay. May have to do walls, because this just looks weird to me. Let's see. Wall. Whoops, Wally. Waloo. I want the impression of an opening without necessarily having an opening. You can't get flat walls. Okay, I guess we're getting stuck with what we've got. That's alright. Now I'm running out of stone. What did I do with these ones? Okay. Oh, plugged up the hole. Is there any other things plugging the hole? Yep, plenty. Let's try that again. You go away. You go away. Get that out of the way. Wow, that one's slow. Okay. Stone out of here. 9 pieces, but now we got 45, so it's a good place to go. 2 and 7. I think that should be able to get us through another level, maybe 2. I really want the fences, so let's get the second tower done, then we'll take a run over and grab a bunch of spruce. Ladders. Oh. That's less than ideal. Plenty. Okay. I don't know what's happened. It's something that has distracted me lately a lot. And you've probably, when I've got camera, you've probably seen me itching my nose a lot. One of the things I find really weird is I'm one of those people that unfortunately has grown up with basically adult acne. I'm just an oily skinned individual, and I get that from my dad. But the reason it's been bugging me lately is that it could be winter air, I'm not fully certain. But that, what do you call it? I was using, the usual anti-acne products like every teenage kid does and stuff after the shower this weekend, but then for the rest of the week, I don't know what's been going on. I'm using the daily wipes and all that jazz that people tell you to do, and my nose just feels more oily than when I went into the process, which is kind of unusual, so I don't know what my system's doing that's making my skin change so differently. I mean, I am, on the edge of being, as they say, that age, but my grandmother had acne till her last days, so I really don't think that that's going to change a whole lot. It's just driving me crazy because it seems to artificially make my nose itchy somehow. you catch me scratching, I apologize. I'm not trying to like pick my nose on camera or something silly like that. Ugh. Even the idea of that is revolting. Okay. Now, I mean, I get that I'm not texturing this thing in an actual texturization kind of way. Baby steps, as they say, right? Baby steps. Last season, I built a church where the vast majority of it was all built out of the same texture. This season, the castle started being all out of the same texture. So, hey, we're getting there slowly, learning something new as we go. Just thinking about the questions of the day. I've actually added, I don't know how many more, 45 maybe, new to the list questions of the day, although they're quite popular ones that I've found laying around. So you may have seen them in other places, but I just kind of borrowed them. Also, if I'm trying to remember exactly what the command is, but I think it's add quote or get quote or something. But there is the ability to add quotations that I've said during stream. So if anything particularly strikes you as interesting or repeatable or something like that, you might want to add to a quote system. That's been built in for quite a while. I've just never brought up using it because 90% of the time, if I was embarrassed by something, I didn't want it to come back. But I decided, how am I supposed to know what's fun, how to chill, let's enjoy ourselves if I keep stressing about every little thing. And sometimes it can be a good reason to laugh over a moment more than once. So yeah, new attitudes for a new year. I know we're already to February, but I was thinking about it because of a new quarter coming up in scouting, so that's how it goes. One thing reminds you of another thing. But I also have really random thoughts from time to time. For example, one thing reminding me of another thing, just saying that, triggered in my head a memory of watching, as I had just a few minutes ago, a sketch from Monty Python about the fake, of course, Royal Society for putting things on top of other things. And it was a gentleman's club for them to get together for dinner meetings, just because, I guess. And of course it becomes apparent that some of the members don't really want to be there anymore because they think that the whole thing is just stupid. Which it is. No bones about it. It's ridiculous. But people do it anyway. I'm going to steal this particular brick for now, just so I can get that bottom one below me done. Okay, maybe I'm not going to steal that brick. Where did I put it? I don't know. It fell. It went boom. There we go. Got that one. Okay. Can I finish that one level, please, before I go get more materials? Unlike a lot of builders, I don't tend to have a whole lot of materials stashed away in advance when I do projects. So we don't tend to have a bunch of things all ready to go. So I'm looking at my stuff here, I am short on basically the big bricks, stone bricks, and the blocks of stone. Let's see. Okay. What? If it wasn't for Hobozim, Chicken Dandy probably wouldn't have tried half the foods she now loves and requests daily. Ooh, okay. Do tell, what are some of the foods that are new to you? Or newer to you, I guess they're not new now. I'm assuming chicken tendies aren't one of them, but I could be completely wrong. It's funny, on my own personal list, if it's something I had not tried before, I grew up where my parents did not like McDonald's. It's not that I'd never eaten McDonald's before, but I generally didn't take a lot of them. We just didn't go to McDonald's. My parents, we did fast food, but my parents were huge fans of, particularly my dad was a huge fan of Wendy's. So we grew up in Wendy's. We did A&W. We did the other one? Canada, there's also Arby's. And so we've done a whole lot of that. But we were not McDonald's people. You know, Happy Meals were, they didn't call them Happy Meals, but they were like kids packs or something like that at Wendy's. We just didn't do McDonald's. I'm not quite sure where that decision came from, but there you have it. And so it seemed odd to me for our kids to be all head over heels for McDonald's. I mean, sometimes I would swear it's the MSG. Let's see. Sometimes I think it's the MSG is a possibility. Could be the high level of salt that you get in McDonald's products, which is probably not healthy for anybody. But who knows? Okay, let's see. What did our pal Chicken Daddy have to say? Zerk says cake. Nice. Love you some A&W. What's some of your favorite A&W, Zerk? Chicken Tendy says, as silly as it sounds, I swore I never liked sausage or pork tenderloin sandwiches. Now I can't get enough. We have A&W here, but I haven't been yet. Okay. I like pork tenderloin sandwiches, and we didn't have it a whole lot because my parents just never really saw the point in turning it into a sandwich. We would eat it as pork tenderloin on our plate. And I've never really been a sausage sandwich fan. Once again, nothing wrong with it. I just couldn't wrap my head around it. If it tastes fine with the meat being used sort of as is, why bother with a sandwich? But hey, everybody does their own thing. And I mean, I will say that our family didn't do a whole lot of hand meals outside of work for school lunches. And maybe that was part of it, was because for my father, it was work lunches. Like, to him, you know, eating something with your hands, unless it was like, actually, unless it was pizza or KFC, that hand lunches were for, you know, work or on the go, period, and meals. However, we had an exception to that, which was the fact that my parents quite liked a particular local vendor of meat pies. But they're not handheld meat pies, they're just like little pot pies of whatever you like, sort of thing. And we would eat those, and sometimes we would eat it with our fingers. So, yeah. I'm wondering if I just did what I thought I did. I'll have to check the other building, because I think I did the walls wrong. Or, like, not the walls, the window heights. They talked about higher on some and lower on others, and I'm actually wondering if I didn't do it right in the first place. On this one at least, because I haven't got the flooring level done. Okay, well, if you haven't been to A&W yet, not that everybody needs to, but if you haven't been to A&W yet, is there something that you've heard about from any particular restaurant? It doesn't have to be an A&W, but particular restaurant that sounds interesting that you would like to try? Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, the build is pretty big. It doesn't look that big at first, but then now when you see, like, having the villagers inside it for scale really does help. And then it makes it clear just how big a build this is going to be over the course of the season. Over the course of the year. So I know you guys, some of you weren't here this morning. Okay. For the earlier stream. I say this morning because it started at 10, even though it ended at like 2. But for quick reference, I will keep it short. So, you've seen the build, like this. We're using a fairly big space. Okay, I'll set that over on this side. Hopefully that'll work. So then, once again, we go back to the references. I was doing the archaeology and actually looking at this because it's based on a real place in England. The castle is supposed to, it doesn't look like the real picture at all, but it's supposed to look something like this. So the idea here is that this top section where you sort of see almost like a blank triangle surrounded by a bunch of little lines. That is actually what's left of what's known as a motte. So sort of the hill, and then down where you start see the lines start to curve around to the southwest of that hill. That's where they would have a dry moat. That's what the motte reference is. It's an Old English word for moat, actually. That's, even though we pronounce it Motte and Bailey now, it used to be Moat and Bailey. And then the rest would be the Bailey yard. Now, some castles had one Bailey, in which case you'd have a Bailey. Some castles had two, in which case it'd be the inner and outer. Inner and outer Baileys. But you can see my somewhat approximation of that castle. It's based on like it's a real place, but that castle doesn't exist anymore because in the 13th century, it was quite heavily remodeled, and the part that you see me throw on there is a rectangle, and that you see in the picture actually wasn't there. They didn't have towers and that big square building. They actually just had it go all around the outside. So the earthworks has been built up underneath to support it in the real world. So yeah, and for those of you that remember, I did the large CAD file art last season, and so this season's work is based on that book series. So he lived in a fictional version of the town of Shrewsbury in England, which does exist, which means then I'm working on the sketch map. Oops, I'll move that. The sketch map of the same area, and sort of attempting to make it my own. But on this map, ours is rotated compared to this one. So on this map, the bit that we're looking at is towards the top, where the two edges of the Oxbow River sort of curve in together. And then on the east side of that, you'd have the castle. So we've got the castle there, and then we're going to have it as our section. You can sort of see the Oxbow that we lucked out with. And I'm going to try and see if I can get the town to grow out from that. So there'll be a good amount of, a lot of terraforming, so a lot of chit-chat and terraform. And then across the river, if we can get it to work, then in and amongst these trees, we will attempt to put in Shrewsbury Abbey, where the main character lived. And not in any particular order. I think the biggest one is to get the castle done first, because that's where I'm going to start with having most of the villagers. Because I can keep them penned in that way. And then we'll move over to probably the Abbey, because A, it'll be the biggest piece of work I'm not comfortable with. I mean, I wasn't comfortable with the castle, but doing the Abbey will be worse for me. I may just find a design of a Gothic church I like and copy paste it. We'll see how I feel. But then I'm going to try and populate that with my librarians, rather than having them inside the castle gates. And they will stand in for the monks. So yeah, big theme, big ideas, and we will hope that it actually works, that we've got the time to make it happen. But yeah, it's bigger than I had originally expected, but I don't regret the decision, because it's not a matter of necessarily go big or go home. It's the try big. If I try big projects, I learn a lot, and it also helps me appreciate the work of others who make big projects sort of as their default. Sometimes you have to go big and accentuate your scale. I'm trying not to do that here, but sometimes you have to go big and accentuate your scale in order to get the detail you need with Minecraft. I would love the game just as much, if not even more, if all of the blocks were 1/4 the scale they are now. Imagine what we could do with it. Or if things like, say, slabs could be put in proximity to one another, or carpet or whatever, like if they all had gravity to sit on top of each other like that, that would be fantastic. Hey Joe, how are you doing? I understand that you're lurking. You're probably still at work, or either starting your day or finishing your day, or likely starting. And yeah, if you've got meetings and things to do, by all means, thank you very much for dropping in. I appreciate the lurk a lot. Having Joe drop... Hey, Arch. Having Joe drop by reminds me, I usually mention it at the end of stream, but I think this time I'll make an exception and mention it earlier, that I have a Discord. It's not all that old, and there's not much going on in it at the moment, but it's always an excellent place to send comments, feedback, additional chitter chatter on topics we're talking about in the stream, and any suggestions on future things you'd like to see or hear. Could even be something as simple as like, hey, Delenn, you talked about doing such and such sound clip, and you never got around to it. It's probably just a matter of I forgot to write it down. So those sorts of things really help. I'm not expecting everybody to be giving me mods, like mod commentary or anything like that. But if there's something that you want to say, that's one good place to put it. It's getting feeds from, so that place has all my go live notices as well. I am using Twitter, but I don't trust the go live notices from Twitch itself, because half the time it doesn't think I do go live at all. So yeah, I think the record now for a go live that did go out, that like from Twitch, that was delayed, was probably about 45 minutes, I think. So if I'm doing it, or if I was doing a 2-hour stream, that's a really harmful sized chunk. So I can see why some newer streamers often get very, very frustrated by the fact that they say nobody's able to find them and that we complain about discoverability. Whereas some of the bigger ones, people just get used to the larger streamers being on, and they start to look at their schedule. I don't know if he's listening or not, but hey James, hope you're having a good lunch. You're just as wacky as ever. Love you to bits, buddy. Alright, yeah, these towers I was saying earlier, this is the 1, 2, 3, probably the third or fourth time I've built these towers for this particular project. It's starting to sound like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, but their paraphrasing that was, I built a tower and didn't like it, so I tore it down. I built a second tower and I didn't like it, so I tore it down. I was about to build a third tower, or a third design, but then I did the research and the homework and found out that was completely wrong, so I tore it down and started all over again. But the fourth method stayed up. Something along those lines, anyway. I know in the Monty Python they're actually referring to swamps. But, yeah. Okay. I am short. Stairs. Really? What a rip. I'd like to have done that all in one sweep. Oh well. That's okay. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I was watching Swanky last night, the Swanky Potato, for those of you not familiar. Fun streamer. He's building his base on the Bedrock server, and he's building it underwater. Sounds like he's got an entirely underwater plan this season. And he was talking about when he's using his, what do you call it? Block randomizer, and that how he has to have a fudge factor so that he knows how many blocks to put in his inventory. Which was interesting, because it made me think about the fact that I generally don't have any clue what my values or how many I'm going to need of one thing or another. So there will be a little bit, okay, a lot of it, of, oh, we got sitting in here. One in there. That's not helpful. In there, okay. So I never seem to remember exactly how many pieces of what I'm going to need. 38, make half and half, I guess. I'm going to keep half a stone. That, and then take this other chunk. Let's go 2, 3. Oops, the other way around. Nope. There, I end up with similar values, and I need to take 2 of those, make them into stairs. I think I only missed 2. And that should finish up the top there. I got a slab. And then we're gonna go chopping. A chopping excursion. I have enough forests around that I've decided for now I'm not gonna bother with a tree farm. I'm just going to take it from nature. Convenience factor and all of that jazz. This one, that one. There, two. So aside from the fact that we've got dirt around in a lot of places and I need to put the fence post down, that's the 2 towers. I'm far too easily amused. I said the 2 towers, my brain's like, no it's not, and JR told me to be highly unimpressed with you. Thanks brain. Nobody asked you. Alright. It's time to get a chopping. Efficiency and mending, it'll do. This way we can also get a good look at what the 2 towers look like. Aside from the dirt, that's actually not bad. I'm happy. I mean, it's got sort of a bad feng shui thing going. You know, I shouldn't be able to look straight through the building. That's a really poor design idea. But I think I'm going to leave it because it really doesn't... It's not detrimental.
Hello?
Hey, Yellow! How are you doing? Holy Hannah, I've made progress. I hope so. I've been spending a lot of time fighting with the villagers, but part of it is the progress is because sometimes you just need to wait for stuff to grow, and unfortunately, it don't grow if you're too far away. So I need to make sure that I've got what I need from the little mini farms all growed up before I switch to doing too much at the back of the castle, which means that some of the pieces I was just talking about leaving till later might actually have to happen sooner than I had originally planned. Not ideal, but yeah. Okay, hang on a second. I have to realize I have to draw a line, figure out where the end of one part is and where the start of another is, or I'll be here terraforming and de-terraforming all day long. Just leave it like that before I get itch to change it further. Okay, so I need spruce trees. I was whining about the color of the wood. It's too light and yada yada yada, and I went on a wander for what I thought was dark oak, which turned out not to be. I should learn to read maps better. But then I realized, silly me, that wasn't dark oak. After all, that was plain oak. Okay. Oh. This is gonna sound stupid, but ever since the advent of snowier snow, I don't see the texture very well. Like, there is a difference in texture, but I don't see it very well, so I've become paranoid of spruce forests that have snow on the ground. Nope. So yeah. He's back! Uh-oh. So apparently HoboZim is, what was this? Hashtag blame HoboZim for sending Chicken Dandy down the path of eating yummy food she never expected. I've yet to figure out what some of those were. But it sounded really appealing. Just the concept. Play, man. No. We have itchy trigger fingers. If you stay around long enough, you'll find that although the Zerks don't ban each other, it has been known for Benson to time out Lyric, just for being Lyric. But that's what happens between siblings, so yeah. There's an itchy band finger on that one. If anything, I'm quite remiss in catching a lot of that stuff. And so it's great to have mods that know what they're doing. Fantastic Shock Fox has been doing a great job learning to be a mod over the last year. I actually haven't had much trouble with my stream in terms of nutty people. I've never had an actual hate raid, knock on wood. Sorry, my desk is glass, so I can't just knock on the surface. But I've never had an actual hate raid. I've had 2 different, what do you call them, follow bot sessions. But the first time I had no clue what to do. I did end up getting parts of it shut down, but I just caught it late. I had to get rid of some of the bots. And then someone taught me how to do that, so it was fantastic. But then the second one I was more than prepared for. It just started to happen and went, oops! And blocked it and shut her down pronto and just moved on. So yeah. That was an interesting adventure. We haven't really had that much trouble with it at all. So Fantastic Sherlock Fox has actually been working more on the arts of the other elements of being a mod, which includes, and you guys have actually all fallen for it, every one of you, is the arts of knowing how and when to draw people out from lurk mode. So if somebody's said something, sometimes you can tell in the way that they've started their introduction conversation whether or not they're busy, just being social, making conversation, or if they actually made a comment or asked something that warrants further interaction. And what I mean by that is sometimes someone will say, oh hey, that's a pretty huge build, and they actually were legit looking for commentary on, things like what makes it so big, or why did you pick to go that big, or what's your theme, or like there's things that it follows on. And so so he's learning that part. Also, he's learning, some of our regulars who are the ones that you say hello to, and they'll stick around. They'll keep coming back even if they're busy. They may not say anything in return. But if I miss them coming into stream and he catches it, he'll make a point of having a conversation with people as much as possible. Although I will point out for anybody who's also seen Fantastic Sherlock Fox being, it appears spacey when he's modding, and that's just because he spends a lot of it. He's actually modding during his workday, majority of the time. At least the first stream of the day is usually during his work hours. So he's frequently attempting to cover off all the mod stuff while being on the phone, dealing with work calls and stuff. And so frequently he doesn't have the audio going for the stream. I had him trying out the... Oh, hello, Hobazim. Yes, I was talking about you. Your ears must have been burning. So Fantastic Sherlock Fox is often modding with no audio. I've had him helping me try out the text-to-speech, not text-to-speech, sorry, the captions, like a free captioning service, and oh my goodness, it's terrible. I know I was a smidge less on color than usual this morning. I mean, conversations about household plumbing and history of clothing will do that. But yeah, he politely pointed out that I might want to be a little careful, just because the way the captions took it, some of it might be slightly less than appropriate. And it's not necessarily adult, it's that it might have accidentally converted some of it into some gibberish that might actually in another language be considered a racial slur, that sort of thing. And I really don't want to be doing that knowingly. So, see, had a phone call. Exactly, right? Fits into the conversation perfectly. So that's where it gets really, really confusing. So Yellow, you had said that I've made progress. Do you recall roughly where I was at the last time you had the opportunity to hang in? I'm actually trying to loosely measure how much progress I really am making. Because sometimes things feel like they're going fast, and other times things feel like they're taking forever, and I'm not necessarily sure if that's related more to mood or actual progress. So, yeah. So mapping out the area. Ah, okay. So it's been a while. Yeah, I've had 3 iterations of the stonework. Like the circle, or well, the big fence section is the latest iteration. And then there were definitely 2 more before that, where it was just the towers. And I was actually going to make a rather traditional, very square unit. I've even thought about, before I put the iron farm in there, I thought about making a rather standard keep with 4 little towers on the corners of it and so on. And that ended up not actually fitting in the space I'd made. But, okay, that helps me know that I have made some progress, because I think all I did on the weekend was the towers. Find the space. I got lost last week. It took me 2 rounds to find a home, and then once I found a home, it took me, I don't know, 3 hours worth, I guess, to get the 2 sets of towers built and then partially torn down. But we've had some movement this week. Though I will say, trading some of the villagers to actually get the faster axe, or pickaxe, was totally worth it. Okay, this is regular oak. Does it connect? Yeah, kinda, sorta. Don't really need more oak. Things like chests and stuff, I might. I'm just gonna get that out of the way. Is there anything else? Need the spruce? How am I doing on that? If I make it all into fences, I guess I'm doing okay. What did I pick? Oh. What did I pick up? So just comparison-wise, I don't know how well you guys can see this on the screen, but those of you who are familiar with Minecraft can definitely tell there's a significant color difference between the spruce core and the oak core. So I'm pretty sure the spruce core will be where it's at. Really what I was looking for is not necessarily anything particularly regional, but more that, to me, the spruce core looks kind of like when they, for the lore purposes, when the castle was built, that the people tried in some way to oil the wood or treat the wood in some fashion so that it would not rot super quickly. That's where I'm going with this lore-wise. And that's why the lighter colors, particularly the birch, for example, that I had found, really did not work. I mean, I may use it in other places, like it would make good flooring inside things because it's not exposed to the elements. Roofing, it's probably not the world's best item. I may end up swapping that out, but I think in lore-wise the stone would be quote-unquote too heavy. Okay, so I've got oak there. Let's break this. We end up with really weird trees after I've been cutting for a while because I just break the stuff to try and make it fall apart. Otherwise it's not going to despawn if it's touching. I think that'll go. If it doesn't, I'll take it down later. Oops. Java, yay! Alright, what do we got? 19 and 264. Oops. Eggs. Boo, egg. Wasn't what I wanted to do. Over there. Bye. I was hoping for 3 stacks. Oh. I was all excited thinking I had it, but nope. There we go. As I understand it on... probably incorrect, but as I understand it on Bedrock version, if you're jumping up and down like that, all it does is actually like either do nothing or see a little bit of the mark, kind of like this, and then it just disappears. Whereas Java, if you keep jumping at it and swiping, it will eventually break. So it will retain that. Which is not better than Bedrock, but very different than Bedrock. And I play both, so part of the reason I don't have a preference of one over the other. But as I've said lately, unfortunately I get really wearied of the constant A better than B for whatever reason. Whether you're right or wrong, it's not material to the frustration of the conversation. I just don't. Treat them as 2 different things. They're not. Parity is not a thing, as much as we would like it to be. But to say one is better and the other should go die a horrible death or something along those lines is old. Pick C. I hear Spidey. I do not see Spidey. And if that was somebody who played the sound, shame on you. Learning to go from one to the other has been a journey. Oh, for sure. Like, that was actually one of the things. I'm playing Vault Hunters as well, as my modded pick. Just because I was getting a little tired of just vanilla. I needed something to help, I shouldn't say help keep me fresh, but help keep me going. The other part of it was that I really need to get far better at feeling comfortable around just generic batches of mobs. And that's certainly one thing that Vault Hunters does, whether I like it or not. There are mobs in your face every time you go in the vault. Some nicer than others, but none of them are your friend. There are no what do you call them, passive mobs, or even neutral till you attack them type mobs. They're just in your face. If you see a mob, they're after you.
Hello?
Hello, Max Money! No death, just beaten about the head and shoulders with a heavy blunt object. Yeah. Or repeatedly running oneself headlong into a wall. Yeah, that kind of thing. So I wanted to get a lot better at it. It's kind of like, what do you call it? Exposure training in the sense of, if one wants to get better at dodgeball. You know, we've all heard of the movie Dodgeball, where, yeah, you dodge the hard stuff, and then the regular stuff doesn't hurt or matter near as much. So, I still don't like getting swarmed by things, because my swarm skills are still really... Crap. No. Okay, let's go this way as quick as we possibly can. See, I told you I can't tell those textures. You evil crap. Pardon my language. Okay. There's a solution to this. I'm tired of that, so I'm going after the solution. I know I'm on stream. We will get through this as quickly as we can. Where is the resources? Oh, for the one I want. Somebody on one of the Vault Hunters things has made a texture pack that purely all it does is show off the powdered snow. So, I mean, one could say, you know, it's sort of cheaty, but once again, my theory on cheaty packs is purely that if it's going to take something like that to keep me enjoying the game, then I'm going to do it. Not currently using. Yeah, those are old. I need to clean a lot of that up. Okay, nope, not that one. This one. Open a new window. You're not seeing a whole lot of what I'm up to here, but I'm just throwing another pack, the Better Powdered Snow pack in. And let's hope. Where is it here? Uh-oh, where did it go? I thought I had it. Downloads. Come on. Better Powdered Snow. Hello? You not copy to this one? Interesting. Copy to resource pack. Copy here. Perfect. Okay. So, stratum, blah, blah, blah. Better Powdered Snow. I don't care. Yes. Okay. Done. So let's get this one reloaded and see how much that changes things. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I'm not going to stick with this version. There is another version that he's done with, so there is another one that's Better Powdered Snow Red. There's another version as well. Yeah, there's another version where it basically, it just tints it, so it's much darker. Yes, actually, I don't have my leather boots with me, but I do have a pair saved for that very reason. So, leather boots do keep you from slinking into snow, and there's actually an advancement based on that. So it's something like light as a rabbit or something. But you can see, maybe, I don't know if you can see this difference. The person who made this pack did not change the original texture of the snow, they just stuck a border on it. And so if you take a look inside the border, you can see that it actually is slightly different than the regular snow to the left of it. I'd say it's kind of more pixelated, but as you saw, that the stick just went right on through. So, you know, I can just drop a block there and it stays. I drop a block over here, she be gone. So yeah. But then I didn't go too much further. That also explains why there's no tree. Because we're not planting anything on these trees. I know you can't on regular snow either. Like it one becomes snowballs, the other one just disintegrates and goes pop. Okay, let's what have we got? We have a few blocks I missed. Let's grab this one. I'm just going to grab a few of the saplings so that we can theoretically do this at home. But I don't want to run into the red snow. No red snow for me. Thank you very much, Birdie Mooch. Okay, so I've got 16. That should do. Whole ton of... Where? In the love of all that is being nice is that stupid spider coming from? You can see that on the map, this one, it tints it pink. So on the Zeros mini map, it just tints it pink. If you do it on the Journey map one, it still tints it pink, which is kind of funny because I killed a rabbit at one point, and all the meat and the foot and all that stuff just fell into the snow. I didn't find it, so I went looking for the marker for the entity, because you can see on the on the Zeros map, these pink dots are all the loose entities all over the ground. And I couldn't see it, but then I saw this pink blob all over the place, and it made me laugh so hard because unfortunately it looked like I'd spattered the poor animal's blood all over the place. Like, ugh. Ooh, yuck. Okay, 17, alright. Let's go around the death trap. And so truthfully, if I was looking for spruce, I probably should have just gone to a zone that didn't have snow. That would have been smart. I am so smart, SMRT. One of the times I heard the spider, I heard the spider and I turn around all of a sudden, and the only thing I could see was a pig. And the first thing that went through my head was the Simpsons spider pig. And I don't often, well, that's not true. I don't usually talk to the mobs when I'm not actually online, but I can't say that I don't ever talk to the mobs. There's my... So we got some spiders for sure. You can see there's one underground. Don't like those monstrosities. But now we can get back into putting together the fences. Do I have... Yeah. I've got lots of crafting tables and stuff on me. Okay. Is it true? Hey Del, good to be back. Glad you got your camera working again. Yeah, all it took was a reboot of OBS. Don't know what was sideways about it, but I definitely couldn't have done it this morning, because as soon as I went into the properties of the camera, literally just right click on it, choose properties, and the thing went totally not responding. So I wouldn't have been able to control anything for the stream, which is such a... yeah. Not high on my list. Okay. You can despawn, and you can despawn. At least some other stuff I can recycle it, right? What do I have in here? More stone. Yay! this way and make half and half. Oop. I'm not carrying a flower, don't push me. Alright. So I wanted some think of the word that would help. Fences, right? That's what I said, fences. Okay. I have more torches, then I can shake this. Hello. Brand new librarian. Woo! Fortune 3 for 28. Dude, that's tempting, but it's not what I need right now. Whether or not he picks a job, he should still go to bed. Out of beds already? I am indeed. Oh, okay. Guess we need beds. And I apparently need to eat. Let's go with the black one as well. Oh, sure. Potatoes, apples. Let's try beds. Black bed, gray bed, another gray bed. There, guys. I need some more beds. Got some more beds. And I should eat. I think that's just a bit of lag. All right, that was interesting. Okay, let's put the bed down. You the brand new librarian? Yes. Silk Touch, no. Wait a minute. You might be the Silk Touch librarian from earlier. You are. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. I don't know. Don't know. Don't care. I want fences. Because the other guy, I don't have what you need anyways. This one? Oh, you're the other guy. Where did that third librarian go? Okay, well, whatever. Oak fence? No. We need these. They're now gonna have spruce fence. 51. Okay. I like that look. So I'll give a real quick comparison. No. Let's take down one of these. That. And this one. Yeah, so you can see why I'm going with the wood, with the spruce instead. It's notably darker. Two-tone is neat, but I think I'm just going to stick with the spruce. I think I like that look better. I can always use oak for like palisades and stuff, so it's not a bad thing that I made it. Palisades isn't even the word I'm thinking of. Inner railings, maybe? Something like that. Let's get rid of things we don't need. Oak. Go over there. Fence, fence, fence. Start working on that right now. I think I'm good with that. planks. Ladders, I never know if I'm going to need them. Sticks, I never know. Into fire. Ooh. Relieve a blaze of its rod. I haven't got that one yet this season. Appears if the server's on decaf. Yeah. Yeah. I would say this server is often on decaf. Or maybe this server is on decaf cold brew, which would be even worse. Give me the willies on that one. Okay. Cobblestone, I don't need. Aha, that's the problem. Dude, you cannot have this job. I'm sorry. I don't want you to have that job. You cannot have that job. You are going to be a librarian. Truth be told, I actually don't want anybody to have that job. This. No, what's the other guy? That's the second one. Here's the third one. Where me? Flame. Buddy, you're getting worse, not better. If you don't stand on that square, I will give you a new job. There, how's that? You want to be a librarian? Squirrel? Smite? Really? Teamwork makes the dream work or some such nonsense. Yeah. Okay. One more shot, and if I don't get anything remotely useful, I'll play with you table off stream. Section 1? Oh, I'm leaving you alone. Forget it. No. Just no. Okay, I wonder if I can reach these. What did I do there? Oh, I get it. Okay, because it's the lower one. I need to fix that on the other tower. I wonder if I can reach these from up above. Can I? Can I? Can I? Hope that'll work. Let's see, did that work? Yep, I got it. You know, now that I'm getting used to it, I actually think I like having the camera without all the extra help stuff on it, like as in not being able to go through the ground and blocks. It's kind of a pain. So if I want to look at caves and things, it's not necessarily cheaty, because if I can't go through blocks, then the only thing I could do is use the use the camera to just speed run through caves the same way that I would do it if I was on foot, just faster. And then I'm not discovering anything I couldn't easily do on foot. That's probably the best. I mean, it's a pain for some of the builds that I have to go out of the build to be able to see the build, but that's kind of a lame excuse. So for anybody wanting to do the same, grabbing this one here, if you're into quality of life mod packs, one of the things I love doing is adding a button that's called, I think it's actually called mod button. But anyway, I can press it, and then it can give me this screen, which is really nice because then you can search for whatever. So I just put in cam, then I'm using FreeCam, the version you can find on Modrinth by Hasholite. There's a whole bunch of them. I think the one I'm using for Vault Hunters is Zergatal, which is a different one. But this way it's got configuration, but things like the no clip doesn't work because I don't have off status, which is fair, right? That's exactly what I was expecting, whereas the other camera ones I use, I can set this to yes or no or whatever, and it actually will work. This one, I can't change it. I mean, I can change the button, but it doesn't do anything because I don't have those abilities, and I think that's really good on a multiplayer server like this. So for the Vault Hunters world, I definitely use it the other way, because once again, it's one of those things that makes things fun. So I also like that when it turns off the camera. So if my character, I fly away from it and my character gets hit of some sort, then or pushed off something, then it's going to disable the camera and snap me back to the character. Okay, same sort of thing. Freeze player. Prevents player movement while free cam is active. So this one, You can set it however you want. I just set it so that even though it doesn't do anything for difference, I've set it to yes, and I save that change because then if I look at the things, I know what to expect, even though they won't change anything. So it has no effect because I don't have the permissions, then I'm going to set it to whatever the behavior really is so that I can quickly take a look and see. In FreeCam, I can actually have it show my hand, which is kind of dumb because I'm not really... It gives you a lot of like the the second account, camera account kind of look in Bedrock. What else? Notifications, that's whether it's on or off. Tripod, on or off. So tripod is ones where you can snap to preset positions that you've created. Okay. So anyway, save and quit. Done. I quite like the mod button thing because it makes it really easy to get in and see configuration settings and so on and so forth. For example, like the Twitch chat bridge was what I was using earlier. Anyway, back to the game. All right, so I've got, if I do one more free cam off this one, I am going to change that floor because that doesn't look good. The whole thought about like waxed floors or treated floors. Okay, so this one looks good. That tower just needs its stairs. And then I think, good. So what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to leave it here and I'll take care of that one off camera. But I think we're going to, pause here to say thank you to everybody for coming. I unfortunately would love to go long this evening, but our friends the Dynamites have come online and I unfortunately have a scout meeting I need to get to. So I just wanted to say thanks and let's find somebody interesting to raid. There are plenty of them out there, but my bet is the Dynamites unless I can beat it. Nope, no can do. The Dynamites are top of the pile right now. Amazing crew they are. So we're going to head over to there and see what they have going on for this evening. And I will join you for a brief moment and then I'll have to go into lurk. But let's get the raid started out. Maybe? Oh, maybe not. There we go. Aha. Perfect timing. Hi, Flaming Fox and crew. Just wanted to let you know that we were just about to raid out, so we'll make it a double layer raid. We're going to head over to the Dynamites. I really do thank you very, very much for the raid. I would love to stick around longer and show you what we've been up to today, then go through what you see in behind me, but unfortunately I have a meeting I need to get to fairly quickly. So I'm going to head everybody over to the Dynamites and say thank you very much for coming in. So let's go dub, die, oh, not dub Z, dub, die, no might, there we go. All right, so we're gonna head up that.
Mislift managed.
Hello.
Okay. So special thank you to, great timing, definitely next time. A special thank you to Dusty Demon for the new follow, to Flaming Fox, exclamation point for all the raids, raid of 1, to Zerk and Fantastic Sherlock Fox, Benson and PP Zerk for being our mods today, and to people like Scrublord, Zerk, Benson, FSF, PP Zerk, Carnage Joe, CJ Bot. Wow. A bunch of these are the people that popped in this morning because I forgot to reset everything. But you'll see a big long list of names there. And those include everybody that popped in. I noticed Chicken Tendy and Hobo Zim and Max Money were some specifically this evening. So if you didn't get your name called out, I appreciate your willingness to come and join me and to hang out for a little while. And I hope to see you guys all again soon. Have yourselves a great night. Goodbye for now.
Transfer complete.